Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Bill. We're going to be in the Call of Cthulhu Keeper's Guide for this video. We're continuing the mythos, monsters, and gods. We're in chapter 14, Monsters, Beasts, and Alien Gods. This video is going to be on the Callers Out of Space. It starts with the quote from Callers Out of Space, the story, and then we'll go into the descriptive text, and then the powers and actual game stats. So let's read in. The shaft of phosphorescence from the well brought a sense of doom and abnormality which far outtraced any image their conscious mind could form. It was no longer shining out, it was pouring out, and as the shapeless stream of unplaceable color left the well, it seemed to flow directly into the sky. From H.P. Lovecraft, The Caller Out of Space. So, a caller is a sentient organism that manifests a pure caller. It is not gaseous, it is insubstantial. When it moves, it is visible as an amorphous, glistening patch of color, rolling and shining in shades of its pale colors that match nothing in the known spectrum. This patch pours over the ground or flies in a living fashion. When it feeds, its victim's skin and face glow with the color. Though incorporeal, its passing nonetheless feels like the touch of a slimy, unhealthy vapor. Geiger counters register its presence as a distinctive burst of radiation. With today's light intensification gear, it shows as a bright patch of luminosity. Infrared viewers are useless. Callers come from the depths of space where natural laws differ. Adult callers create embryos, harmless 3-inch spheres seemingly empty, deposited on verdant soil or in shallow waters. The embryo begins to germinate. After a few days, the outer shell dissolves and the new creature, which we may term a larva, emerges. The jelly-like larva can grow to great size. As it infiltrates the ecosystem, local vegetation exhibits a tremendous but unhealthy glow. Fruit tastes bitter, insects and animals are born deformed. At night, all plant life glows with the color, and the vegetation begins to twist and writhe, as though in a strong wind. Even humans shine with this spectral light. After a few months, the larva transforms into a young caller. It now makes brief trips from its lair to feed, and begins to draw the life force from the area previously affected by the larva. When it drains enough energy, it departs the planet for space and adulthood. In so maturing, the caller may drain life force from an area of 5 acres or so if rich in life, or perhaps 10 to 20 acres of moor or grassland. The area drained is ruined thereafter, and no plant can grow. Bright light inhibits a caller. It spends daylight hours in dark, cool hideaways, preferably underwater. Cisterns, wells, lakes, reservoirs, and oceans are all suitable. Special powers. Now we're getting into the game information. Disintegrate. A caller can focus its energies to disintegrate a hole through almost any material. This ability is used primarily to excavate a layer underground. The same effort to melt a cubic foot of titanium removes several cubic yards of pine wood. The sizes of the hole appear melted, but no heat is generated. Solidify. A caller can concentrate and solidify a part of itself. That part becomes translucent. It can then manipulate objects. Now here's the actual game stats. Caller Out of Space. Life Force Feeders. Average stats, strength of 15. Con, not available or not applicable. size equal to POW, Dex 95, Intelligence 70, POW 50. The POW is the base amount, which then increases as a caller feeds. And if you were rolling it randomly, it would be 2d6 times 5 for POW. Hit points not available or not applicable. Average damage bonus not applicable. Average build 0. Average magic points 10. But that would increase as its POW increases. Move 12 pouring and 20 flying. Attacks per round 1. Since a caller is so efficient at an attacker, keepers may wish to allow investigators to see it coming, allowing spot hidden rolls to detect its slight glow or to notice a sudden presence of ozone. Callers lack any recognized fighting skill and cannot be harmed by normal means. Characteristic drain. When the caller is feeding, the victim must make an opposed POW roll. If the caller wins, it permanently drains 1d10 points each of strength, con, POW, dex, and appearance from the victim, and costs him or her 1d6 hit points as well. Each point of POW so drained increases the caller's POW. The victim is aware of a sucking, burning sensation and progressively withers and grays. The victim's face sinks and the skin aging with hideous cracks and wrinkles. Once drained, the victim dies. Mental attack. A caller can weaken the minds of nearby sentient beings. For each day in the caller's vicinity, each person must make an opposed intelligence roll or lose 1d6 magic points and 1d6 sanity points. Magic points so destroyed cannot be regained without leaving the area. And the influence also strongly binds the victim to his or her home, and the influence becomes increasingly irresistible as the victim's will weakens. To leave the area, he or she must make a successful hard or extreme POW roll, half of the POW if the magic points are reduced by 50%, or 1/5 the POW if the magic points have been reduced to 0 or less, or be inexplicably compelled to stay. Drain opposed roll, victim's POW versus caller's POW, drains 1d6 plus character's loss. Mental attack opposed roll is victim's intelligence versus the caller's POW, damage 1d6 magic points plus 1d6 sanity points. The caller's dodge is 47%. It has no armor. It's invulnerable to physical attacks except by strong magnetic fields, which can imprison it. It's vulnerable to magic. Sanity loss is 0 if you make it, and 1d4 if you fail. And that's if you see the caller. The same sanity points loss would be 1 or 1d8 if you see a victim of a caller. So that is pretty interesting. Let me know what you think about that in the comments below. It just reminds me of that story vividly over and over again, because I remember reading that story a few times. Well, until we all game again, guys.